Hi friends, welcome into my home and into my kitchen here at All Things Kitchen. My name is Jennifer and I am going to be doing a casserole dish of sorts tonight for dinner. I wanted something quick and easy and I found this recipe about a week or so ago and we're going to give it a try tonight. So I have all the ingredients out, but I want you to know these were all ingredients other than, let me tell you what we're making first. We're making an Orzo Tuscan chicken bake. So I had all the ingredients except for the Orzo, which I just ordered on my last grocery order. So maybe you'll have all these ingredients on hand, or if not, they're easily accessible. It took me about 5 minutes to get all these ingredients together. I'm going to throw everything in my casserole dish and put it in the oven, and it's going to be simple and easy and hopefully delicious. So I'm going to get my oven preheated and bring you down and we'll get started. I have the oven preheating to 375 degrees. And we're going to start by adding in 16 ounces of Orzo. I am using this casserole dish right here. The recipe says to use a 9 by 13. Mine's kind of an oval shape. I use this sometimes instead of a 9 by 13, so I know it holds about the same amount. And 16 ounces is 1 package of Orzo. And with this, I'm going to add my chicken and chicken broth. I have 2 jars of chicken that I have canned, and the recipe calls for 2 cups of cooked chicken. This might be a little bit more than 2 cups, but I know 1 jar is not going to be 2 cups, so I have to do the two jars. So I'm going to add in the chicken and the chicken stock and cream. So 2 cups of chicken, 3 cups of chicken stock, and 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm going to go ahead and add in my cream. And then set that aside real quick, and I'm going to drain some of my chicken stock into here so I can measure it. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to drop that chicken in there. I'll break that up in just a second. And then this one. So that's 1 cup of broth. Add that chicken in there, which I'll bring back over in a second. And I'm going to get the rest of my broth here. What did I do with my jar opener? Oh, moved it off to the side. And this is some homemade chicken stock here. All right. Let me get my rag. Clean this up. I'm just going to break up this chicken. Now you can use rotisserie chicken. You could cook up a couple of chicken breasts or chicken thighs, whatever you want, whatever you have on hand. We want to make this a nice, easy dish. If you have some canned chicken, by all means, use that. Okay, So that is the Orzo chicken stock and cream. To this, I'm also going to add some seasonings. One teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of salt, one teaspoon of pepper. This is a mixture of white and black pepper that I have, that I freshly cracked. I have the equivalent of about 5 cloves of garlic. The recipe calls for 5 cloves. I just used my frozen garlic that I prepared to make my life easier. So that's just best estimate of 5 cloves of garlic. I did not have any fresh spinach, but I did have frozen spinach, so I'm going to add that in here. The recipe calls for 3 cups of loosely packed baby spinach, or about an 8-ounce package of frozen spinach. I just used what was left in my bag of frozen spinach. I don't think that's quite 8 cups. That's okay. We'll work with what we have. So the spinach, I have a little bit shy of a pint of cherry tomatoes. These were garden tomatoes that I grew. I just pulled those out of the freezer as well. Give this a little stir. And then I have some lemon juice here, about a half a lemon. And then I need to, the only thing that I did not have prepared already is some cheese. So I need to grate some cheese. I need 2/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. Just cut this in half here so it'll fit into my handy dandy machine here. Not so much machine, just a grater. So 2/3 cup. Let's see if I can get this on here good. Here's 1/3. And that's going to be 2/3. That was the perfect amount. And then some mozzarella. Oh, came loose. Mozzarella here. As I was grating this mozzarella, I realized I was only supposed to put half of the Parmesan in and only half of the mozzarella to mix in. And then we will put the rest of the cheese on top. So I need to make sure I save half of it for the top. And this will be 1.5 cups of mozzarella that I'm grating here. So that means I'm going to put about 3/4 of a cup in. So that's more than half a cup. Okay, so I am going to just combine all of this together. And then I will put the remaining cheese on top to cook. And all of this moisture will be, the orzo will cook in all of this liquid in here. And it just fits in my dish. Perfect. It looks beautiful. All right, so the rest of the Parmesan I'm sprinkling on top, and this mozzarella, I may not gotten quite a cup and a half, but I don't know that we need that. You do you, your kitchen, right? There we go. And just like that, in just a couple of minutes, we have our dish put together. The oven is preheated to 375 degrees. I'm going to put this in there for about 40 minutes. The recipe says 40 minutes. And or until the orzo is tender. So we'll keep an eye on it. I do have a lid. I'm going to start off with the lid on. It does not say to cover it, but I'm just using my instincts, and I'm going to put the lid on for at least halfway through. So I'm going to get this in the oven, and I will bring you back when it comes out. Easy peasy. Okay, friends, dinner is ready, and it smells delicious. Oddly enough, it smells like pizza, but I think that's the mozzarella. I think that's the mozzarella that's making it smell like that. But I'm going to dish up some. There is still quite a bit of liquid in there, and I think probably what that is because I did use frozen spinach and my tomatoes were frozen, so that had extra moisture in it. So keep that in mind if you do use frozen spinach and or frozen tomatoes or frozen anything. It's going to add extra moisture in there. I did end up cooking it for 50 minutes, and then I let it sit for 10 minutes. The recipe did say to let it sit for 10 minutes to absorb the excess moisture. I still have excess moisture in here, but let me dish up a bowl and show you. Wow. I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring you down and show you. It looks delicious. It smells delicious. You can see how much moisture is still in there. It will probably absorb more of that moisture as it sits, and once it gets in the refrigerator, because there's no way we're eating all of that tonight. But let's give it a taste. And hopefully not burn my mouth too much. See if I can get a little piece of chicken. See if I can get all the things. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Now, mine needs a little bit more salt, but also something I did not take into consideration was my chicken stock is not salted. I don't salt my chicken stock when I make it, so the recipe, I'm sure, is thinking store-bought stock or broth, and so therefore it wouldn't have needed as much salt. So try that again with that salt. Mm-hmm. I had a little bit of tomato in it, so I got that flavor of the tomato plus the spinach, the chicken in there. Excuse me. The heavy cream is adding a creaminess to it, plus all that cheese in there. Yeah. Mm. That's really good. I'll definitely make that again. It was very easy. All the ingredients I generally have on hand, and it all went together very simple. You know, a one pan, one pot, one casserole dish. I'm thinking of things that you could substitute if you wanted to. Like, you don't have to put the spinach in there if you don't want to. I do have like some canned pork. I could probably do pork instead of chicken if I wanted to. Um, Maybe instead of spinach, maybe you could put some broccoli in there. Uh, Trying to think what else. Maybe add some onion in there. Some onion would be really good in there. If not chopping up an onion, then maybe some onion powder just to give it a little bit of onion flavor. That would be really good. Just trying to think of different ways to kind of change it up a little bit so it's not the same thing every time. And those are definitely ways that you could do that. Let me know your thoughts and ideas of little tweaks that you would make to this recipe for something that you like in your kitchen. I appreciate you coming along with me this evening as I made our dinner. I'm going to dish up a bowl for my husband and we're going to sit down and have dinner. So thank you for joining me in the kitchen today. And I hope to hear your thoughts and ideas on this recipe. And like I said, what you would do to tweak it. Or have you tried this before and you like it just the way that it is? I will link the recipe down below. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Take care.